The Goa Chamber has been a very fierce advocate of bringing reforms so far as the power sector is concerned. If you could give us some pointers on this.
Sure. I think we must keep one thing in mind, Harsh, that Goa has a substantial disadvantage that we don't have our own power generation. Now, you may say that the power generation was never there. It's a small state. So, we have our own limitations in terms of, again, coal is not a very desired commodity in Goa. So, the expectations of the people have to match with the growth development plans of the state. However, I feel that it is the right time. Now, Goa should focus on renewable sources of energy. We could look at solar power, we could look at wind power, we could look at more than wind power. I would say that you could look at developing power through water flow, because we have enough water in the state of Goa. We have rivers where we could generate, maybe through barges, put up equipment on barges and generate. Now we need expert resources in this front to study and generate power. Now there have been different views. The chamber has openly advocated supporting the Tanmar power project, of course with environmental protection, environmental balance. We at no point have said that you should overlook environmental concerns and go for Tanmar power project. So with all this, I think one way we want, chamber advocates industrialization of Goa, more industry in Goa, and at the same time we are saying that the power situation is bad. So how do we do? And the only solution that is available today to sustain power is power rates being increased. Now, how will industry be able to afford that every few years the power rates go up and the power availability comes down? So rates have to go hand in hand with power availability. Quality of power has an issue, okay? Transmission lines have an issue, okay? And the rates are going up, okay? So how does an industry face this challenge of maintaining, because any industry needs today power, and leave alone industry, you look at the number of real estate projects coming up, that also will consume power.
Lots of power.
So how are you going to balance the aspirations of the people of Goa? As I said, people are getting affluent, which is a wonderful thing. You look at Goa of earlier years and Goa of today's years, people are much more affluent today, which is a great thing because the country is developing, Goa is developing. But at the same time, our basic infrastructure has to be in place. And power is deficient in the state. We all accept it. And with the kind of power growth rates projected, we have to depend more and more on your neighboring states for power. Is that a wise thing to do? And some stage, if their requirement goes up and if they start cutting down on supplying power to you, where do you stand? So I would say seriously look at projects like Tanmar with enough environment protection. We can appoint the best consultant in the world to give us the most greenfield, the green kind of a power plant in Tanmar. The second is renewable sources of energy. I'm hearing that there are not serious takers for solar power in Goa. I think we need to analyze the reasons. As chamber, we are also responsible to sit with the government and make the policy more conducive. Then, as we can say, hydel generation of power, as I explained to you with water. Wind probably Goa may not be very suitable because we don't have those great wind speeds. So these kind of alternatives of power should be looked at. And as I said, industry will grow and residential will grow. And how will you balance the two? So power is a very, very important issue. I think at chamber we are completely sensitized to it. And our industry committee and the supporting committees are looking into this situation. And we constantly engage with the government in trying to have a more conducive policy for additional power generation and quality power generation.